But what I thought was so fascinating, because we talked to people a lot about the end of the year
Uh-huh.
campaigns, right? Fundraising campaigns and goals and stuff like that. Since we've had you on the webinar, I can't stop thinking about how amazing it was and how the mechanics that you used and the attention to detail with monthly recurring campaign that you did for Catholic Charities. Everyone, we got Christi Jeffries on. She's a very, very prolific fundraiser and a friend of HGA, and I'm so thankful for that. But hey, you absolutely hit it out of the park with the monthly recurring donation campaign that you built for Catholic Charities. So can you take me back to the
Yes.
beginning when you were handwriting the letters and stuff like that and how you asked and everything? Because I think people will be fascinated and get a lot of value out of this.
Absolutely. So when I was at Catholic
Yeah.
Charities, I was there for 4 years, and I kind of
Yeah.
started the recurring monthly gift program. So we had about
So you didn't have one to be, you had none.
it was very
There was
small, there was
zero
about
money.
200 people in
Okay.
it,
Okay.
but we didn't
Okay.
have a name for it, we didn't have a society, it was just like, "Oh, they give
Yes,
recurring,"
that's right. Yes.
So
The branding.
I branded it with the Halo
So
Society
good.
since,
Yep.
it's a
Yep.
Catholic organization, we all wanna go to heaven, so, if you give to this fund, you get to go directly to heaven.
I just think it's so smart that you
Yeah.
branded it though. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So over the course of 4 years, it grew to about 822 donors. So,
Okay.
it
Okay.
I kinda call it the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise always wins because, that's about
You were
150 to
patient.
200 donors a year, so that's not a lot, but when you add it all up
Mhm.
over 4 years, it's $600,000 that Catholic Charities could depend on year over year because you really don't have that many people who cancel. Very
Yep.
rare.
Yep. Yep.
So the first thing I did was
Totally.
target existing donors who made a one-time gift, and we created letters showing how they could
Bottom of the
increase their
funnel. Yep.
gift to make a larger impact.
Yep.
So I would say I hand signed every letter until it reached about 400, and then my little hand got tired, and we had to figure out a way for me to electronically sign it. But I got a
Right.
lot of people who called me and were really impressed that I hand signed the letters. So
I think it means something. It's obviously
yes,
personal. You know what I mean? It's obviously
yeah,
personal, but you hit your limit at 400. So that we're motivating everyone. We're encouraging everyone. Hey, get to that 400 point, and then we'll talk
yes, yes.
about automation. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Good.
Halo
Good.
Society came with benefits. So, if you
Yep.
gave $10 a month, then you could provide $10 snack packs for homeless people. That was $120 a
Right.
year. $20 a month would keep the lights on, because we helped people with the utility bills. That was $240 a year.
Right.
And then $40 a
Right.
month would supply maybe a baby with formula because we have a lot of foster children that we take care of before they're adopted out. So that would be like $480 a year. And you can kind of progress from there. And so
Okay.
once the donor was set
Yeah.
up with a recurring donation, they automatically became a member and they would receive an
Okay.
email welcoming them into the Halo Society.
Another thank you. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Good. 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 No, it's
So
so
every
good.
time a
Yep.
donation came in, we would get notification. I'm assuming that's how everybody operates, but I don't know. So once that
Yeah.
would come
We
in
hope
and I
so.
saw it was a recurring donation, boom, they got a special letter, an
Okay, they
email,
got another
a
they
special
got the
email.
email they got the email welcoming them as a member, and then you gave them another thank you letter, right? Welcoming them. Oh, so good. So good.
And so
Thanking them
every
again.
quarter
Good.
we would send out a digital newsletter, which was part of the Halo
Okay.
Society benefit, highlighting a program, an employee, a donor, a recurring donor,
Yep.
and
Okay.
then
Okay,
maybe
cool. Recognition.
yes.
Yep.
And then maybe,
Yep.
like inviting them to an event. So, hey,
So
sneak peek, you get to know before
yeah.
anybody else that green tie,
Yeah.
we're going to have
Yeah.
so and so
Right.
performing. We're going to have this for a silent auction, this for a live auction. And those
Right. Right.
newsletters had a 40% open rate. The average is 10. So,
So good.
I don't think it gets much better than that. I mean, a good
No,
open
it's
rate is
so
like
good.
27.
Yeah, I want to assume that a lot of folks probably aren't. They're not branding. I absolutely love that from a marketing perspective. So many nonprofits don't treat their business like a
Mhm.
business. And building a good
It's true.
brand is exactly how you build a
Mhm.
business. And I love that you put a name to it, a title to it, a brand to it, the Halo Society, and you were inviting people to be a part of
Mhm.
something. That's another huge human element I think that you uncovered. I don't think I'm assuming this that a lot of organizations that run similar campaigns that once someone gets on board, they don't thank them as often as we probably would hope that they would. And people love that kind of high touch recognition. That newsletter that you're mentioning about, like, this is the work that we're doing. Here's someone that we're helping, highlighting it. bringing them in, inviting them once again to continue to be a part of it. I just think, and I love how you called it a membership. I think did you call it? Did you use that? It's so
Member,
good
yeah,
because
you become a member.
people love member
Yes, they
benefits,
do.
all these different, right?
Yeah.
All these different verticals that we can establish. And then, of course, yes, you're inviting them to give more, come to the event, invite people. I'm sure that there was tons of donor cultivation with the events
Oh,
as
yeah.
well for the monthly recurring. One other thing, Christy, I'm rambling, but I want to get you going again. So you mentioned $40 a month would get you this and keep the lights on at 30 and what have you. What was the most that you asked for on a monthly basis with these
I want to
newsletters?
say that one of the highest recurring donations was $1,000, which is
Okay, $1,000 a month.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Okay.
it did.
Where was the sweet spot? Where was the
I
sweet
would
spot?
say in between 120 and 240
A
a year.
year. So that 10 to 20. Yep. Good. Good. And then you do the math on that, and you were bringing in
Well, I
$600,000
don't know if that
annually.
maths out properly, but that's what it added up to over.
Well, no, but in totality, that's what you did. You raised $1.8 million with this campaign over. You said 3 years. Is that
Oh,
right?
probably 11 million over 4 years.
Oh my.
Now the recurring part,
Oh my goodness.
recurring was only 600,000, but in totality,
Okay.
11 million.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. $600,000 is
I
remarkable
mean,
though
because they
for
can
a
count on
campaign
that,
like that. Oh my
that was
gosh.
the like when we started
It's
the
money in the
campaign,
bank.
we were already $600,000 toward goal.
I love it.
One thing I
Massive.
wanted to add was,
Yeah.
people like we designed our own logo. It was, like a little cross, and then there
Yes.
was a little halo on top. So I definitely think that branding is important. But
I
you
think it's
can also
massive. Yeah.
tailor the benefits to your nonprofit. So I know one nonprofit was like an animal rescue, and by becoming a monthly donor, you
Yep.
could name a pet that was up for adoption.
Naming rights of all that
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
and then another
Perfect. Love that.
nonprofit, like, let you have lunch with the executive director, just kind of whatever floated their boat.
Hey, and also, I want to ask you a question about what to steer folks away from just because you've done it all, right, in this space. I want you to tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't use this font. Whatever. I want to get in the nitty gritty. But I think also when you're talking about inviting people to do things like name the animal or have lunch with test those things.
Yes.
Do a few. If this is an astounding success, you'll know. Usually we can see the score,
Yeah, yeah,
right? We know. You know what I mean? It's
yes.
usually not a mystery the score is not a mystery whether these things are working or not.
Right.
So I think we need to encourage people to test. Obviously, the brand, things like that seems like the biggest aha thing to me right now. It's so
Yeah.
massive. What would you steer folks away from doing because you did this from yourself, grassroots, hand signing everything, the ideas, the postage, all this stuff, down to the mechanics? What would you tell folks? Okay, I did this. It was a mistake. Avoid this.
Well,
If there
I
was any,
think
because it
I
sounds very
think that
successful.
sometimes you could over communicate. So we really didn't, those quarterly
Okay.
newsletters, we really tried not to do too much outside of that, and they were
Okay.
also separate from your general audience. So you have, if you use
Okay.
MailChimp or something like that, you've got recurring
Sure.
donors and you've got general donors. And so you didn't ever want to,
Yep.
mix the two, which
Yep. Yep.
happened one time on accident.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I hear
don't
you.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. These things
Now, there
happen.
was some things that we did that weren't necessarily associated with the recurring program that just didn't hit with donors.
Yeah.
One
Yeah. Okay.
was an Easter card we developed that was a
Okay.
coloring contest. Send it back in, and we will give it to the homeless women. And we
Okay.
got
Okay.
back one colored card.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But your heart was in the
it
right
wasn't the
place. Your
right
heart was
it
in the
wasn't
right
the right
place.
fit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there
Yeah.
was one
Yeah.
end of the year appeal that I did that just didn't do as well financially as some others had before. And I
Yeah.
can't really pinpoint what it was about that particular one, although it was very different from anything we had done before. It was cardstock, it was an
Yeah.
opening up
Okay.
situation.
It wasn't your normal
No,
trifold, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
It
Yeah,
was
okay, and you think that was not a good way to go
I mean,
about
it
it
raised like
because it was so different?
$150,000, but we had done better than that in other
Yeah,
ways. So it didn't
Okay,
do
gotcha.
really bad. I mean, $150,000
Yeah,
is a lot of money, but
that's
compared to
yeah.
what we had done previously, it didn't do as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. You said something about like, be careful not to over communicate.
Mhm.
So when I take from you saying that is we're big believers in like just brevity of message. It's like this is what we're doing, this is how much we're looking to raise, this is why we need you to donate. And I mean, you would yeah, you're not in your head because it's I think that people need to hear the brevity and succinctness of
Yes.
message. It's like you know who we are. This is what we do in 10 words or less. This is the campaign, why and how much we're raising. We'd love for you to come on board. These are the
Yeah.
options, kind of thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just keeping it real
I
straightforward.
will even add, and this doesn't really have to do with like direct mail or anything, but just we did some
No, but I want to
surveys
hear it.
about events, which I know you guys talk
Yes,
about a lot.
we love
We were
this. Yeah,
told by more than, I would say, 30 people, we know why
yeah,
we're here. So you don't need to
yeah.
beat that drum over and over and over again. Let us
Sure,
have fun.
sure.
Let us drink drinks and let us bid on silent
Ooh.
auction items and live auction items. And so we really cut our program down from the prior
Yeah.
year by almost an hour. They
Preach,
loved it.
sister. We just did a webinar on this
Okay,
today.
good.
Yeah. No, seriously, we really did about it's like, hey, listen, I'm a big believer. It's easier to differentiate than to be competitive head to head with other organizations. But what you are competing with other organizations because these donors, you're competing for dollars and attention and
Mhm.
attendance at these events. So you need to make your events fun and memorable and comfortable. And like we were talking about a scenario where like a lady takes off her high heels and she's dancing around
Yeah,
barefoot because she's comfortable and I'm like, okay. And people are taking their phones and they're showing everyone dancing around and taking shots of Fireball. I don't know, but you said it. It's like we could be raising money for children's
mhm.
hospitals, or any matter of fact, right? Any mission, but we know why we're there. And another thing is because you hear us talking about surveys a lot. We're in full on an event season for everyone. I'll go ahead and disclose the time. It's September, and we're in a ton of
Mhm.
events, and we're constantly telling folks, it's like, listen, make it exciting, make it memorable, make it something that someone shares, make it an event that people invite other people with wealth to. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean? That's the idea. And then you never know who's sitting in the back of the room that's never been to your
Oh
event
my gosh.
before. You obviously touch them with the
Mhm.
mission that you can do that, right? But you can do it you don't have to do it in an hour and a
Mhm.
half. All due respect, you don't have to do it in an hour and a half, no matter how beautiful your mission is. But you have someone that came to your event for the first time and saw how y'all operate, and it was a blast, and they had and they gave huge,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yeah,
I
massive,
I will
massive.
also offer this little gem on events,
Please
doesn't
do.
have to do with recurring donors.
Yeah.
One year we did really well with what we call a mission moment, and the next year we did
Yes.
really poorly. So the difference
Okay. Why?
was we
Yeah.
had the year we did really well, we had a great client who came dressed up, told her story shortly, and then
Yeah.
our entertainer of the night serenaded her, and he
Oh wow.
said on the microphone, and now we're going to try to raise $50,000 for you to be able to help other people, like whatever. We raised about $50,000 in 10 minutes on that deal.
Wow.
And
Wow.
people's names would come up on the screen like, oh, Trevor's donating, Christy's
Yep.
donating their
Yep.
names.
Yep.
Well, after that, we were told, I don't really like my name to be up there. So the following year, we didn't have a client in person. We decided to do a video, like a general video about homeless women. People didn't
Okay.
really pay attention to it because they were drinking, having a good time.
And it was on video. Maybe the audio wasn't loud
It
enough. Who
never
knows? Yeah.
is at events.
Yeah.
And
Of course. Of course.
we had taken the advice to not put the names up, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
We made about $10,000.
Oh my
So
goodness.
what
Yeah.
did I
Okay.
learn from that? People do want to see their names. People do want to see
They
their
want to
names.
be okay. You're 1,000,000% correct. People love that. It actually is attention grabbing. There's a lot of human elements to this in marketing and branding. People also want to be a part of a
Mhm.
winner. They call it, people don't want to, it's the fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out. Oh my good. Of course I want to see. It's like putting your name on a trophy. If you win a trophy, you want to see your name on it. You
Oh,
know what I
sure, yeah.
mean? It's like, Come on. I
Absolutely.
mean, yeah, but people want to be a part of a winner.
Uh-huh.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they want to get
But it was
involved. I
fun to
love
see
that. I love
the
that story.
dollars go up. And
It was
I will
massive.
say,
It was a win.
personally for me, it was one of the best mission moments of my career. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Yeah. Fantastic. People need to hear it, Chris, especially right
Yeah.
now, especially with how much money is in the system, of course, how much opportunity there is to raise money if you do it right. Yeah, and then you shared the mission moment, but like you said, there was still brevity, right? You raised $50,000 in 10
Mhm.
minutes. We call it the golden hour of fundraising for a reason. You only have people's attention for so
Right.
long. You only have their attention for so long when they open up a recurring donation
Mhm.
letter or a newsletter, right? So, coming full circle, all great stuff, all gold, as always, whenever we talk to you, Christy. I can't thank you enough for coming on again. I
Sure.
appreciate you. Thanks for being flexible with me and sharing. People need to hear this. So, thanks so much, everybody. If you have any questions or anything like that, do me a favor. You can leave them in the comments on YouTube. Do us a favor and subscribe. If you're listening to this podcast, however you consume podcasts, download, rate, review, subscribe. Do us a favor and please share it if you get any value out of this, which I know you will. You'd be lying if you didn't. And share it with someone in your network. And then, hey, listen, we've got a free coaching offer on our website. It's not like a promo; it's always there. It's absolutely free and there's no strings attached. If you would like to ask any question about what we just covered, I'd be happy to introduce you to Christy, time allowing, because she's so wonderful and so giving with this information and has accomplished so much in fundraising. So thanks so much, Christy. Thanks everybody for
You're
tuning in.
welcome.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, I'll talk to you
All
soon.
right.
Okay. Appreciate
Bye
it,
bye.
Christy.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you love our podcast, click the download button, rate us, and follow us on social media at HGA Fundraising. Get out there, start fundraising, and raise more money. See you next time.